I don't know who needs to hear this, but the way I'm finna start acting is dangerous, bitch.
Nigga gonna text me talking about you'll never find another nigga like me. Promise? You swear? Put that on your life.
Nothing makes me scared. Do you see my hands? Do they look like they shaking to you? No.
On June 17th, 2025, a woman innocently picked up her phone to respond to her brother's text, but instead saw the picture of his girlfriend's dead body in a pool of blood that he had sent. Panicked and frantic, she called the woman's family, sharing the terrible news that their relative might be dead. And worse, it might have been at the hands of her brother. The girlfriend was 46-year-old Lizette Monique King, a loving sister, caring daughter, and devoted sister who was shot dead by her long-term boyfriend in cold blood. He made the bold move to not only send evidence of the murder, but also to issue a threat. He warned that her family was next. As desperate 911 calls flooded the police, emergency services rushed to the apartment complex on McHenry Street near Bracemont Drive in southeast Houston. As soon as they stepped into the apartment, they knew they were too late. Lizette Monique King was dead, and the prime suspect was the one man she trusted and loved for almost a decade. But where was he now? Police launched an immediate manhunt to track down his path and take the loose cannon off the street. As the investigators started to dig in and unravel this chilling mystery, they uncovered a story of betrayal, sickness, pain, and loss that would stay with them forever. This is the life and death of Lizette Monique King.
This boy be in my DM say I'm pretty. This boy be in my DM say I'm pretty.
God can't bless you with more when you too busy settling for less. Catch it?
I've been depressed for like 5 days straight. But you know what? You ain't no boss if you want to bounce back. You gotta bounce back, but when you bounce back, you gotta come back though, like.
This sad story unfolds in the city of Houston, Texas. This is a highly diverse metropolis in southeast Texas known for its vibrant cultural scene, international community, and technology. Its residents are famously friendly, multicultural, and entrepreneurial, with a strong blend of ethnic and cultural influences. While nonviolent crime is down about 11% this year, Houston has seen a modest rise in homicides, 112 by May 2025, up from 104 in the same period last year. Sadly, no one could have seen this threat coming for this highly lovable and kind woman. Born on February 16, 1979, 46-year-old Lizette was known to her loved ones as Lizette, a vibrant, free-spirited woman with a giving heart and a magnetic personality. She attended Jack Yates High School in Texas, where she graduated and started a life for herself right in Houston. She had always been family-oriented, and to her delight, that family soon grew. Lizette soon had 2 sons, and she completely devoted her life to raising them. Everything she did was centered around their happiness and security. She continued to raise them in Houston, to stay close to her family, especially one person in particular who changed the course of Lizette's life. This was Lizette's twin sister, Lizemma. Like many other twins, they shared a powerful bond that shaped much of Lizette's identity and a closeness rooted in shared experiences and deep love. But in 2001, this bond was shattered in a devastating way. Her twin sister, Lizemma, was killed in an act of domestic violence. At just 22, she was snatched from her family, leaving a permanent scar that Lizette never truly healed from. In multiple posts, she loudly mourns her, expressing endless pain at Lizemma's sudden departure. Lizette never expected that a similar fate would await her. That tragedy left a permanent scar.
You left before I could make you proud.
Though Lizette carried herself with grace and strength, that pain never truly faded. However, Lizette continued to do her best to be better every day. This conscious decision to be better was already visible to others. Those who knew Lizette described her as a loyal and deeply compassionate person. She had a knack for making people feel seen and often went out of her way to help those in need. Little did those around her know that her giving nature would one day be met with unspeakable betrayal by the love of her life. She met Michael Ellis in her late 30s, and the couple were obsessed with each other. He was born on September 12, 1977, and is turning 48 years old this year. Their relationship blossomed with love and fulfillment at first, until things began to sour. According to friends and family, the relationship was described as volatile and aggressive. They frequently argued, leaving Lizette upset and unstable. Everyone just continued to hope that Lizette would end it. Soon, their prayers were answered. After being together for over 6 years, Lizette decided to prioritize her peace of mind, so she ended the relationship with Michael Ellis. However, after so many years, the couple shared a life and apartment, so this breakup presented a challenge, one that Lizette resolved in a way that would alter her life forever. Lizette had allowed Ellis to continue living in the apartment, at least until he could find something else of his own. This was a decision that would prove fatal to her safety, as Michael had many grudges and an unstable mind, making him a time bomb that soon burnt Lizette terribly. At approximately 9 p.m. on June 18, 2024, a shooting occurred inside the apartment Lizette shared with Michael at the Southway Manor complex on Fairway Drive in southeast Houston. Gunshot sounds were heard and nothing else, leaving neighbors to imagine the worst. And they were not wrong. Panicked calls from not just neighbors, but before this alarm was raised, the police were already running towards another tragedy. Police responded shortly after 11 p.m. to a nearby shooting where they found a man shot in the leg. That victim was an unnamed man who said that he had been attacked by an unknown man while sitting in his car with his fiancée and 2 children. He was rushed to the hospital in stable condition, but the shooter was still out there with a goal. However, as the police began investigating the initial incident, a second, far more chilling report came in, one that would alter the entire investigation. A woman told police that her brother, Michael Ellis, had just confessed to shooting his girlfriend. He had allegedly taken photographs of her lifeless body and sent them to his sister. But the tragedies of the day were far from over. Michael had also informed her that he was not finished. He was going for a bigger kill next, Lizette's family. But she made a split-second decision that saved many lives. Michael's horrified sister instantly called Lizette's family to alert them of what she had just learned. They immediately went into hiding while she sent out a call to the police next, urging them to hurry because there might still be a chance to save Lizette's life. But even desperate and prayerful hope could not change what the police encountered. By the time SWAT officers arrived at the apartment, the horrific reality was confirmed. Lizette King was found dead inside. She had been shot and left unresponsive on the floor. It was too late. Officers pronounced Lizette Monique King dead at the scene. Right at that moment, police realized they were no longer dealing with a single incident. They were confronting a potential serial threat. Fearing for the safety of Lizette's family, they advised the family to evacuate and launched a massive manhunt and an investigation that would uncover even more mysteries. Inside the apartment, crime scene investigators collected evidence while SWAT ensured no other threats remained. Meanwhile, officers across the city began searching for Ellis. The manhunt intensified as police tracked potential leads. Soon enough, more disturbing details began to surface. According to Lizette's family, the signs had been there for months, if not years. Michael had a documented history of aggressive and disturbing behavior. He had allegedly sent intimate photos and videos of Lizette to her employer in 2023, allegedly attempting to get her fired. Lizette had previously reported the harassment and said she believed he was trying to sabotage her life. Family members described their relationship as rocky and emotionally draining. Michael had long shown signs of controlling behavior, paranoia, and jealousy. This soon began to manifest in more unstable ways. He had accused Lizette of being part of a government conspiracy against him. The delusions reportedly became more intense in recent months. At times, Michael was convinced she was plotting to kill him. They recalled multiple incidents where Lizette said he had pulled a gun on her during arguments until now, when he finally shot her. Michael's sister later told authorities he had been diagnosed with several mental health disorders, including paranoid schizophrenia. She said she believed he was off his medication in the days leading up to the killing, but to Lizette's family, this seemed like a flimsy excuse, and they decided to make it clear how they felt about it.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Don't blame that on no mental health. That ain't the first time he done pulled guns on her before. We almost went to jail behind him. Stayed in the police car 2 hours behind crazy stuff he did. So he knew he wasn't crazy.
Lizette's family rejected any attempt to frame the incident as a moment of psychosis. To them, the crime was deliberate. Michael took photos. He sent them. He used Lizette's phone to answer calls from worried relatives. In one instance, he reportedly responded to a message with nothing more than the words, "F everybody." Then his next move was the most terrifying detail. Michael allegedly warned his sister he was going to target Lizette's family next. Immediately, Shatina Thompson, Lizette's sister, learned about the threat. The family evacuated their parents and notified police immediately. With fear mounting, Houston police responded with urgency. The police deployed officers to multiple addresses while other teams searched the city for Michael. A citywide manhunt was underway. But just when it seemed like Michael had vanished, the manhunt came to a close. After hours of searching, Michael was finally located and arrested at approximately 3 a.m. near the Willowbrook Mall, roughly 30 miles from the original crime scene. He was taken into custody without incident and booked into the Harris County Jail.
Another story we're following here, a man has been arrested after police say he shot and killed his girlfriend, then sent disturbing photos of her body to family members.
That's when the family called police to a home on McHenry Street in the Gulf Crest community in southeast Houston. HPD SWAT found Lizette King inside, dead from a gunshot wound. Police caught up with the suspect, Michael Ellis, 25 miles away at Willowbrook Mall.
Devin Clark live outside the Harris County Jail where Ellis was taken to explain why the family won't accept mental health as an excuse. Devin.
Lisa, Andy, King's family tells me they know Ellis well. They say he knew exactly what he was doing and had a premeditated, well-drawn-out plan to not only kill King, but also other members of their family. Right now, as you mentioned, Ellis is behind bars, but King's family says even the Harris County Jail is too good for him.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Don't blame that on no mental health.
Vicki Kyle is speaking about 48-year-old Michael Dwayne Ellis, who was accused of killing her youngest daughter, Lizette King. She says the tragic loss is the end result of a toxic and at times violent relationship.
That ain't the first time he done pulled guns on her before. We almost went to jail behind him. Stayed in the police car 2 hours behind crazy stuff he did. So he knew he wasn't crazy.
It's believed that after Ellis killed King, not only did he send images of her lifeless body to his sister, but also threatened to harm other members of King's family.
I know my parents are safe now because that was a concern, because he knew where they were and, you know, that he would possibly be able to get them, since he did say that he was looking for them.
Ellis never made it to King's parents' house. He was arrested near the Willowbrook Mall this morning. While the family says they have some relief he was stopped, another wound has been reopened. They say King's twin sister also died as a result of domestic violence back in 2001.
And now the twin is scarred. So my mother has lost both of her daughters.
Before Ellis allegedly killed King, officials say he shot another man in the leg. Investigators have not drawn a direct connection between the two cases, but coming up at 6, we'll tell you why King's family believes Ellis targeted that man. Reporting live outside of the Harris County Jail, Devin Clark, KPRC 2 News.
At the time of his arrest, new information about his violent history was revealed. Michael had an active felony warrant from 2023 tied to the unlawful sharing of intimate visual materials involving Lizette. This case was still open when the murder occurred, leaving multiple legal battles against him in order to give Lizette justice. Now, charged with murder and the unlawful disclosure of intimate visual material, Ellis is being held on a $915,000 bond. He has not yet been formally charged for the earlier shooting involving the man in the parking lot, but police have confirmed he is the primary suspect. Back at home, the emotional toll of this tragedy was taking shape. For Lizette's mother, the loss is unimaginable. She has now lost both of her daughters to domestic violence. Her grief is worsened by the painful similarities between the losses. For Shatina, she has one painfully clear message to share. If you are in a toxic relationship, get out. Don't wait. Don't minimize the signs. Don't think it will get better. She remembers that Lizette was trying to move on, to regain her peace, but the past came back in the most violent way possible. Meanwhile, the community is still processing the horror. Friends and neighbors remember Lizette as someone who lit up every room she entered. Her kindness and strength were used to help anyone who needed it. Her death is a brutal reminder of the cost of ignoring red flags, of brushing off escalating behavior, and how domestic violence doesn't always come with visible bruises, but can end in permanent loss. Her funeral would become a moment not only of grief, but of remembrance, a gathering of family, friends, and community members who came together to honor a woman who meant so much to so many. Though the family was still in shock, they knew they had to begin the process of saying goodbye. In the days following Lizette King's death, the community's outpouring of love and support has been overwhelming. Friends posted heartfelt tributes on social media, recalling moments when Lizette had stepped in to help someone through hard times, or made a stranger smile with her natural warmth. Michael is now the suspect in both shootings, and authorities have emphasized that while mental health concerns may be a part of his background, the level of coordination in his actions pointed toward intent. Investigators cited his prior warrants for the unlawful sharing of intimate material, the deliberate use of Lizette's phone to communicate threats, and his attempt to flee the scene as strong indications of premeditation. Community leaders echoed that sentiment, warning that mental illness should not be used as a blanket excuse for acts of violence. While it's critical to address mental health challenges and improve access to care, it's equally important to recognize the danger posed by unchecked abuse and the red flags often overlooked until it's too late. And as the trial approaches, one question continues to echo through the halls of everyone's grief. How many more women have to die before domestic violence is taken seriously at every level? As of now, Michael Ellis remains in the Harris County Jail and has not yet stood trial for Lizette King's murder. He faces charges of murder and unlawful disclosure of intimate visual material, and the investigation into the earlier non-fatal shooting is still active. No official trial date has been announced, but prosecutors continue building their case. His detention marks the beginning of a lengthy legal process, and Lizette's family has committed to attending every hearing to ensure her story is not forgotten. Their goal is not just a conviction, but change. Change is how domestic violence is recognized, reported, and prosecuted. Change is how mental illness is treated alongside accountability. Change is how society protects women like Lizette before it's too late. Let us know what you think in the comments section below.